Well, if I was going to lecture my friend Trevor Miller, who is an expert on opiate addiction, um, I would be pretty foolish. Well, because he's the expert, not me. Have I helped anybody out with opiate addiction ever? Me? No. Has he? Yeah. Lots of times, as far as I know, lots of times. So why would I come up? Well, just because I'm tortured by remote control, by an imposed virtual reality voice to skull horrible torture machine. Anyways, everyone knows. So if I was going to lecture Trevor Miller when it comes to addictions and things, I don't think there's anything I could tell him that he doesn't already know. I mean, I'm sure he's had plenty of people tell him about their experiences, and I'm sure some of the nightmares were unbelievably real, where there were real people in the nightmare of the opiate addict. But my experience with people who terrorize me by remote control, could they be entity attachments rather than what I'm currently given to call them people who are using a high tech amplification system that amplifies their will somehow? I don't know if it's chakra related or what. But it puts their voice, and mind melds with me. No, but it's one way. It's a one-way mirror. They can talk and they can look at everything in my mind, everything that I've ever done, everybody I've ever seen. They have access to it. Mind meld through high tech and people. And these people do it all day long, every day. They don't get a vacation. In 6 years, do they get a vacation? Well, I don't know. Doesn't seem to be. Why would someone have such a vendetta that they would spend 6 years of their life, every waking moment, online with me? Multiple people do. Why? I don't know. Devilry, I continue to say, on the low end of the scale of human consciousness, there's no rational thought. There's no logic and there's no reason. There's only ego gratification, ego juice. David R. Hawkins of Consciousness Research told us it's pure ego juice. I've got a machine that lets me torture somebody by remote control. I don't know, it feels like there's people that are astral projecting into my hand. It's sometimes it feels like there's a foreigner inside my hand. Somebody else's hand inside my hand projected their astral projection or electronic simulated astral projection of the imposed virtual reality. Probably because Elon Musk has 40,000 satellites. How many military satellites up? I don't know. Anyways, Firefox was the movie, the Clint Eastwood movie, 1980, about, you can fly a fighter plane with your mind direct. So it just seems like, back in those days they were talking about technology that could read your mind. 40 years later, and then, trillions of dollars at the Pentagon every year in budget, and you don't think that they would have come up with something like that by now? I mean, 1970s Uri Geller and spoon bending, the Israeli psychic. Ingo Swann, the American psychic who was studied by CIA analyst Hal Puthoff. And that one was released. Major Ed Dames in remote viewing. There was a Hollywood movie with George Clooney, The Men Who Stare at Goats, all about military investigating, is psychic stuff real? and putting real money into it and getting people, I don't know, to go down the path. What's the point? Well, the point is that the people who terrorize me with their high technology were talked about by metaphysical author Stuart Wilde, who I talk about quite a bit. Stuart Wilde, STUARTWILDE.com. Early in his career, Stuart Wilde was all about prosperity thinking, having the right mindset. 1980s. There's old films of him on YouTube from the 1980s where he's very much like T. Harv Eker is now. Millionaire Mind, T. Harv Eker. So, yeah, not terribly advanced metaphysically, but compared to his audience, yes. Because David R. Hawkins did tell us that what's held in mind tends to manifest. So if you have a positive mindset, a positive future will manifest for you. My positive future is still in the future. A fifth dimensional Earth is what I'm all about. A gift economy, you don't need a wallet or a purse. You don't need a driver's license. There will not be optical character recognition or DNA sniffers and samplers. Nothing controlling. Fifth dimensional, because when you let go of your ego, you are conscious. And conscious people don't go around hurting other people. People on the low end of the scale of consciousness are unconscious. Well, I mean, they're awake. I mean, you see their eyes open, and you can see them. When they see a pizza, you can see them go over and grab a piece of pizza and eat it. They're, feeding themselves. But as far as being conscious of, yeah, higher consciousness things, no. Or they are. They've seen them in movies. But I don't know if they, yeah. Sometimes they do believe you can get these things with lots of things like I don't know witchcraft and things. I don't know. I didn't want to go down that path because I didn't.